Morning, guys. Unfrequented world. Just eating breakfast. Been up since 6 o'clock this morning, guys. This channel needs some adventure. Today we're gonna go old school. We're grabbing a pack sack, pair of hiking boots, a compass, and we're going cross country. We're going deep into Northern Ontario bush. We could see bear, moose, deer. I called my dad this morning. He has a bear license. He's gonna come for a walk. And it's supposed to be pouring rain, but he wants to check out some area to look for bear, put up a stand, look for dens. And it just happens to coincide with this exact area that I want to walk into. When I was a kid, I found an old turn-of-the-century farmstead. I think it was a farmstead. There's a bit of a cleared field way out in the middle of nowhere in the bush. And when you look at the Google Maps, there is a road that comes into there. So somebody lived right on the fringe of society at the turn of the century there, and I found that spot just, grabbing a rifle and going out hunting when I was a kid. I found this, and I've always wanted to go back. So today we're going to take the detector, my old man and his gun. We're going to go for a walk, and I'm going to show you guys some real Northern Ontario bush. I can't guarantee what we're going to find because it's an old site, probably just iron and whatever. I always have hopes of finding an old coin or something at these places, but in reality, it's probably not going to happen, but we are going to have an adventure. Either way, we're going to have an adventure. A good adventure always starts with a bologna sandwich. So I'm going to treat this trip just like any hunting trip because we're going to be out quite a few miles in the bush alone. There are some things that you want to make sure you take with you. You don't want to go out there unprepared. So I'm going to have my GPS with me, but I also always carry a real compass just in case. I mean, this is great with maps and everything, but you're relying on batteries, so, I always carry a compass. You want to have a good knife with you, and just in case, have a headlamp, because you never know what could happen out there. You might be coming out in the dark, and make sure you got lots of food and water. I know it's hard to believe in this day and age, but where I'm going, there is no cell phone coverage. Redbridge, or Phelps Township, is one of the last places I know of that 1,300 people live in there. Still no cell phone coverage, and we're going on the outskirts of that. So another tough decision is footwear. I mean, when you're going to be hiking for miles in the bush, these are probably the worst thing that I can wear. I hate wearing these, but I know it's very wet where I'm going, so I can hike all day in a good pair of hiking boots. But when your feet get wet and your socks are soaked, it's not fun. So I think I'm going to compromise and take these. Well, change of plans. I guess the old man's not coming with me. He answered the door in his bathrobe, so I'm not even going to describe. He just said he wasn't ready to go, so I'm going to head up over the mountain myself here. Okay, so that's the first stop, guys. Straight through the bush. We're going to go just over half a mile up in here. Probably going to take me 25 minutes to get up there. It's pretty swampy, pretty wet. And I know there was an old trash site right in there and a bit of a field. And I've got 2 more spots. If we have time, we'll try to get to all of them today. Sounds great out here. Nothing but birds. So the area I just showed you guys, it's full of bear. There's lots of bear in here, and there's a big side hill that usually has a den or 2 in it. And then up on top of that, it turns into hardwood, and there's more deer up there, but this lower area. So that's what I was hoping my dad would come with me, but hey, I got the shovel today. If I have to use it, I hope not, because I know who's going to lose that battle. In all honesty, guys, of 40 years of tromping through the bush, fishing and hunting and camping and everything, I've seen bears probably 24 times, and as soon as they see you, they're gone. As soon as they know you're there, they don't want anything to do with you, so I really don't fear a bear. So quite a bit of wind-blown stuff down here. It's very hard to walk through in big heavy boots and with lots of gear, and it can go on for miles back here like this, so I'm going to try to find the easiest route. Grouse drumming just over the hill. I'm on a bit of a game trail here, so it's a little easier walking.
but still a long ways to go. How come adventure is synonymous with long walks, carrying lots of gear? I don't know why I can't have an adventure close to home. We're gonna get there. I mean, I don't remember it being this much uphill, but you know you're a hick when I was gonna say I can smell moose. I know my viewers won't understand that, but as a hunter, I could smell, 10 yards back over the hill there, I stopped, and it smells like wet moose, and I came over the hill. I haven't seen any, but I found this. And when I say I smell moose, it's not moose crap that I'm smelling. They have a real musty, I don't know, if you ever smelt wet animal, you would know. It's just, anyway, back onto the trail. We're gonna get here probably 3/4 of the way there. I always like to do a bit of prospecting when I'm out and about. I keep my eye to the ground. That's just fool's gold there. But right here is something I would check out if I had more time. I like to poke through the roots of any big overturned trees, especially in little creek areas. It's a good spot to look for signs of gold. This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. We're not far, 20 yards from the last one I showed you, but look at this is where the creek comes down. It's dry right now, pretty much dry. Look at the nice rock trap in there, and then we've got a nice big overturn there as well. So that would be a real good spot to do a bit of prospecting right there. But there's a moose track right there. Went over this little rise, and there's another track right there. Getting a little hot now, a little warm. I look at this bush around here, I listen to the animals around here. I'm gonna admit to something I don't like to admit, but I like watching squatching videos on YouTube. I've been a hunter and a fisherman and out in this bush my whole life. Guys, you think there's an unknown primate living somewhere in North America? You come here. You come to Northern Ontario. There's 500 miles of empty bush north of here. I'm not joking, 500 miles. And look behind me, there's nothing. It's just swamp, valleys, hardwoods. This is where you go to look for Sasquatch, not a block outside of Detroit's West End. Like, I have one good Squatch story. I never saw anything, but I heard it. And ask me about it someday. It still haunts me 20 years later. So my glasses are all fogged up here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I was at the chiropractor 2 days ago, and I had a massage yesterday. I think I've done too much. My back is on fire. But I was feeling good after my treatments this week, and I thought, normally a 10-mile hike in the bush, that's standard, but I gotta go slow today. Slow. Here's part of a moose leg bone. We're almost there, guys. Almost there. This is the last valley we gotta cross. We come up to a bit of a clearing, and then there's a field on the other side of this hill. And it used to be right here on the side hill somewhere in the next 100 yards is where I found the dumps when I was a kid. And there's some old orchards they look like and trails. So we are almost there. I've been searching the hill behind me. And I can't find that first dump site. I wanted to see if there was a nice flat level area close to there that would have been a homestead. I can't find it. I think I'm going to just push on to the fields, and I know there were some old roads and trails up there that we can detect the roads and then into the field. But I'm looking for dump sites along the way. It's been a long time since I was here, guys. I found the remains of the last guy or girl that came up here. That's all that's left. One ripped glove. This is George. I asked him if he knew anything about an old homestead, but he says no. Kind of a cool old tree. We're here. We're not in the spot that I remembered as a kid, but look what I found. Look at this clearing. You tell me that this just randomly appeared, and then randomly, an old apple tree. This was somebody's house from 100 years ago, and we're detecting this spot right here before we go any further. Nobody can ever tell me that I don't work for my channel. I'm soaked. Whew. And the bugs are just starting, so this is a perfect time to do spots like this before the black flies start, because another week from now, you won't be getting anywhere near this spot. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking root cellar. I haven't gone 2 feet and I got a signal. It's not a good signal, a lot of iron, 37, but let's dig it just to see what's here. Okay, so I've got it right here in this clump somewhere. It's pretty muddy. There it is, guys, the first signal. And the end of that looks rounded to me. Here we go. Oh, no, 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 no! Modern. Ugh. Okay, actually I've never heard of this or seen one of these before, so maybe it's not that modern, but it's not as old as I'd like. W&A Gilby Limited. Having a hard time in this hole. I just dug up this little piece of iron here, but that's not the signal I'm getting. I checked the hole. I'm still getting a 70 to 80 signal down there. It says it's 15 centimeters below where I'm at right now. I'm not crazy. Dug out this whole side here. It's not in there, but I may have found it. Nope, that was just another little chunk of iron setting the pinpointer off. Wow, I'm really hoping that's not it. So, all the old nails here apparently are giving me great signals, 76 to 84, and I had solid signals on that last one in the low 80s. All I could find in that hole was iron, and when I was done and had a 2-foot hole dug, I flipped it all back over, scanned it before I did that, and I couldn't find anything, so it's got to be the nails. Well, not sure about that one. It's pretty fragile. I broke it. It was whole when it came out of the hole. Okay, really solid 65 signal. It's going to be a big item. Like, I don't know, I'm expecting like a paint can or something, you know. But I'm also getting these pieces of ceramic or something coming out of the hole. Got some glass coming out now. And the first signs of something here. See a bit of iron there. Well, we're down there 12 inches. The pinpointer is saying, screaming, bottom of the hole. But I've got great big root here, great big root here. I'm not going to be able to get this thing out, whatever it is anyway. I hate giving up, guys. I hate giving up. But in this instance, I have to. We're going to move on. Wow, look at this, guys. Look at the pile of wolf scat I just found. That is friggin' huge. That's like a big pile of bear shit. But it's right full of hair. That is wolf scat. That would be a full, big timber wolf. Check my Trail Cam Adventure series if you want to see timber wolves, guys. I got them between here, right at my old man's house, which is where we started today. I got some great video 40 feet from his house when we were doing the deer last year. Great big male and a little female with him. No doubt in my mind, that's what made that pile. I still can't get over the size of that. It's like it ate a cat and shot the whole cat out right there. It's huge. That is what I was expecting to turn over in the last hole. Solid 65. And it's an old can. Well, solid 65. I have no idea what that is. Okay, so the next hole here, we've got something in this clump, and it's a solid 62 to 65. Well, there's some writing on there. K-R-U-S-S-A. Another clue, but I don't know what to do with it because I still don't know what it is. Well, a couple more little bits. I don't know what they are, but solid 80 signal here somewhere under this root, right in here. Getting close. Come on, be a coin. What the? No. Oh, Apparently this site was just some old alcoholic hermit. London Dry Burnett's Gin. Never heard of it. On the side it says made in Canada. So far the best two clues that I've gotten about this site are old alcohol bottle tops. So that might narrow down a year for me. I've never heard of either of those brands, so solid 65. And it's a pretty big one, whatever it is. I'll clean that off. Well, some kind of fixture, because you can see the two screw holes on the outside. I don't see any writing on it or anything to give me a date. Let me know, guys, if you know what era this is from and what it is exactly. Well, I gotta say, guys, I am enjoying this hunt much more, even though I'm not finding great things. Trying to puzzle out what era this was, who was here, what they did. You can see behind me, this is the pile of stones from where they cleared this lot. So, definitely old school, and I'm just having way more fun than when I go to a lot in town or park, you know. I'm not out for clad stuff, I'm out for history. And unfortunately, I mean, we're not finding great stuff, but hey, I promised an adventure, and so far, it's an adventure. We're not done yet. Somewhere in this hole, there is a solid 80 signal. You've got to be kidding me. Everything here is under a friggin' root. Look at the size of this root. Oh, it says it's underneath that again. Can feel it, it's coming out. It feels like a metal plate. You know, as I sit here and take a lunch break and listen to the birds and just enjoy this spot, I think about a lot of things. I wonder how many kids were raised here. Did he hunt to feed them? What kind of gun did he use? How long were they here? Most importantly, where was the outhouse? All the old pros tell me that if you want to find good stuff, you got to find the outhouse. Got to remember when metal detecting that the same rules apply as when fishing. Don't lick your fingers. It's amazing what a half-hour break can do for you. I am ready to go get back at it. The plan is going to change for today. We've got about 40% left on the phone, and we're not going any deeper into the bush. There's lots of ground here for me to detect, and it just doesn't make any sense to go on to, I know about 3 more spots back here I want to check, but there's just, it's far, we've gone far enough today, and there's lots left to do here, so this video is going to be just on this first site. Isn't that funny? This is the first hole after lunch. The sequence is in order. Look what I found. Looky here. We're going to clean this up, and then we're going to know exactly what kind of gun he owned. No, I've been foiled again. I can't make out the writing. Ah. No. I mean, from the size of it, you know, 303. I don't know. I got cocky. Never get cocky. Another great solid signal right there. The first two were alcohol caps, but sooner or later we're going to get something telling. Well, there it is. What is it? I think it's made out of lead. It's very heavy. Extremely heavy. Now that was a big signal. Wow. Solid 80, if you can believe that. Okay, so actually, you know, you look at the back of this, it's really wide, and then it comes down to a fine point on this end. So is that some kind of part of a piece of plow machinery or something? I don't know. It's solid, it's heavy. Well, ringing up in the low 70s, so just iron again. But yeah, there's no cleaning that. Okay, I can see this one. Don't even need to get the pinpointer. Real good signal, 70 something. What is that? Wow. That's kind of cool. What is it? Threaded end here. Is this part of a bed or something? That is kind of cool. So just to show you guys where I am, I've come way up from the first clearing, which is down there, and I just made my way through the bush and kind of zigzagged through here, and this is the last hole I just showed you guys under this tree here. And if we look around, it's quite clear up here too. This whole area out here is clear. So, I mean, there could have been another building or another homestead or something up here. Who knows? So down in that area there, I see another clearing, and this one here right in front of me is real suspect, guys. Like, this is cleared for a reason. I gotta find a rock pile somewhere here, but that's not natural. There's no way. I'm excited because we've actually found some old homesteads here. I don't know how old, but even if the junk we're finding isn't that old, like I've said before, they could have been built on places that were here previous to that. So you never know. We just got to keep going till we find something that we can definitively say came from X era, and then we have an idea of when people were here. And that's why I'm after coins, because they have dates, and they're excellent identifiers of when people were here, right? So we know that not necessarily at that date of the coin, but that same era usually. Okay, another 60 signal. I think it's probably 60 to 65 brass casing. Maybe. What is that? Oh, yeah, hell yeah. That is definitely an old shotgun shell, a real old one. Let's clean this up and take a look. All right, so this white thing is all corroded. That came from inside of the shell. And this is solid brass shell, guys. So that's old for a shotgun. That's like turn of the century, 1890s. We're getting somewhere old. We are getting there. All right, what is that? It's reading 20s right up to 80s, and part of it's broken off here. But what is it? Surface find. Half of an old bucket. Okay, 73 to 78 signal here, maybe 5 inches down. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna clean this up. Maybe a button of some kind? And not a button. It's rounded on one edge though. Flat on the back. So I don't know. Does that look like an outhouse nail to you guys? I don't know. Well, a couple more nails and this. Well, guys, I don't know if you can see, the black flies are actually getting pretty bad right now, and we're out of time. The phone is almost dead, so time to head back and take a look at these finds. Ask the old man if he recognizes any of this stuff. Maybe he can tell me something about the gin cap or the other cap, what era they're from. I'm not done with this site. We're going to come back to this site. I'm closing in on this old guy. I know what he drank, I know what guns he shot, and I have an inkling as to what his taste in women was too. Who am I kidding? Old guy who lived alone in the bush and drank a lot? I think we all know what his taste in women was. You couldn't be picky back in those days. What? Chances are neither of them had all their own teeth, so it was all good. So I'm just walking out, and I knew there was trails to come out the long way home, but not through the bush, so easier walking. And it's a pretty good four-wheeler trail now. And we could have four-wheeled right to that spot, like within 20 yards of that spot. So that's what we're going to do next time. We're going to take the bike, bring it out, and we'll go from there. And save us a couple-mile hike anyway. The reason those homesteads are where they are is that this four-wheeler trail here, it splits. That goes back to the homesteads. This here goes down to the highway. There's a road that starts maybe quarter of a mile down there, and it heads out to the highway, but they never did turn this into anything else. So those were the 3 or 4 places that I know of back there. They were the ones that lived on the outskirts of society. Well, I showed you guys everything else along the way, so I might as well show you this too. Deer hair. Not sure what happened. Not enough fur missing there to say that there was a hide thrown here or something. But I don't know. Definitely deer hair. I am absolutely whipped, guys. I've walked miles, and I'm here at my grandfather's, and I've never done this spot either, and this is another good spot that can be done. So I've picked up a couple more ideas of where to go today. I'll just show you guys what I'm looking at. So over in here was a garden. He had quite a big garden. And back in here were the chicken coops that I was talking about. And there were a couple sheds in here. And then this was all cleared out. It was backyard. And I had forgot about this. My brother will remember this. We used to play on this swing set when we were little kids, like 4 years old. Didn't know it was still here. Alright guys, thanks for joining me today. I am absolutely whipped. My back is killing me. I've got the heated seat on right now. That's how bad that is. But I had fun today, so I stopped. I showed my dad all my finds, and we scratched off the head of that shotgun shell, and it looks like it's a 20 gauge Dominion Imperial shell. So I don't know the age on that. We're gonna have to do a bit of research, but and he thinks that the rifle shell I found was a 35. So, and he knows his shell's pretty good. So not only did I have a really good day, but I found about 4 more places I want to come out and swing the detector. So that's, you can't have any more of a successful day than that. So we're gonna get back out here, hopefully before the bugs get too thick, and I'll catch you guys sometime in the next week with another metal detecting video.